Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. Stopping a heated situation from getting violent isn't easy, but teams from Oakland Unite do it every day. And Oakland natives Kevin Grant and Jennifer Argueta are here to tell us how. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
I saw you dancing to the music a little bit earlier. So Oakland Unite has 4 main strategies. Tell me about them.
So we actually have the Focus Youth Services, Family Violence, and Young Adult Reentry Services, and Violent Incidents, and Crisis Response.
And this is really to help prevent crime.
Correct.
It also happens after a crime has been committed.
So what typically, I'll give you a scene that, and we have a great collaboration, partnership. You know, they put buzzwords every year for the work on best practices and what have you. So trauma-informed care, but incident, for example, shooting that created a homicide and a few shootings, high-profile shooting. So our partners, we find out that this is a neighborhood. The incident is spontaneous in Oakland. A lot of that will lead to group dynamics. Our teams who have built relationships with the years of work in the communities. The retaliation factor is high. So when we find out this neighborhood is what we call a hot neighborhood, we not only just deal with the loved ones on the streets, we are in our hospitals with the partners, our Highland Hospital partnership. We're there bedside with the loved ones trying to bring the retaliation factor down. We're also in Santa Rita, we're also in JJC with all the people from those communities, because as the jungle drums beat, the loved ones get the information, and so entities of the drama start in other arenas that we want to get and say, we've talked to partner A and group B, it's calm, we got it situated, the incident is over with, and we want to make sure that those memos reach everybody who is involved, so the incidents will, and then if through the homicide or crisis response team that Jennifer mentioned is helping the family through that stressful time of funeral arrangements. Also, we even link up with the media so they don't turn it into an affair of striking the family down through, you know, misrepresentation of the loved one who was killed, because, you know, it's a very ugly one-dimensional push into our communities that victimizes the family again. So we have learned, unfortunately, Oakland is a great teacher of how to get good in this work, because it's like you mentioned earlier, it happens so much. But and then when we have a neighborhood, Jennifer hits the hot neighborhoods with events that has shown through the test of time that helps those neighborhoods. Our goal is to put the community's hand back in the community, and these events help.
When something like a shooting happens, though, and you were talking about this, a lot of emotions are high, and the retaliation factor is there, and these hotspots, you know, these people young people have been there for a very long time. They've been exposed to it for a very long time. How do you, it seems like a difficult job to calm everything down.
It is. And I'll give you an example. When we pull up at the hospitals, the loved ones who are in the waiting room, they see a Kev, ain't nobody trying to hear that, because we're so consistent. So just by us learning that to slow the pace down, the response, and put some think into it, it's very effective, you know, and we're respected and also expected now to do that. And our loved ones, honestly, they're just like, you know, they're looking for a way out, but the streets don't offer it, so we become that way out for them. We become the reason that we can buy some time, and then in that time we try to settle accounts in another way.
Do you find that it's often where the victim knows the perpetrator?
Very often.
Often.
How do you train your teams that go out to these hotspots?
So they go, they have quarterly trainings, and we train them in ranges of things that address specific incidents. Kevin is, you know, direct coordinator with them. So a lot of the training takes place working directly with Kevin.
Does it help being a native of Oakland and gaining that trust?
Yes, definitely. You know, oftentimes we hear of agencies just planting themselves in a lot of the neighborhoods in Oakland and not being successful, because a lot of the times they try to bring programs from different cities, they work in different cities, not necessarily could work in Oakland. So a lot of the times when you are a native of Oakland, you have an understanding of the community, especially I believe if you're like come from the background of the Latino or an African American background, you know how your own culture reacts to certain incidents.
And you have some events
We do.
that you line up in these
Yes.
certain areas.
So we know that summer is our highest crime incidents as our peak. So usually what we try to do is we adopt certain neighborhoods that we know are hot during the summer, and we just basically, LA has a very similar thing. They have it year round. Unfortunately, we only have it during the summer. But we basically adopt parks and just bring out a grill, a DJ, and we just barbecue, have basketballs, have baseballs. We have every type of music, yes. We have dance competitions. And so we definitely have people of all ages, of all colors, of all sizes out there, and we're just basically one community. And you see the community coming out, and you see, you know, African Americans with Latinos hanging out in an environment that usually they don't. You see the children, you know, they don't see no colors, they see nothing. They basically see a playground and then just run, they grab a ball, and they become a community.
Yeah, it looks like very family-friendly events that you have going on. You're doing great work. Thank you so much for coming on the show and telling us all about it. And for more information on Oakland Unite's programs, just log on to oaklandunite.org. Again, that's oaklandunite.org. Cute picture there. Coming up, the Frameline Film Fest is bringing 180 movies to the Bay Area. We'll be back.